Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Everyone, welcome to the show. So shockingly, a Utah judge temporarily blocked a law banning transgender girls from playing in girls' sports. And perpetual whiner Marjorie Taylor Greene, she introduced a bill that would make it a felony to provide gender-affirming medical care or treatment to minors, including puberty blockers, hormone therapy, and certain types of surgeries. In abortion news, Walmart announced that they're expanding their employee health care coverage, and they're going to cover the cost of abortions, quote, when there is a health risk to the mother, rape, or incest. And they'll cover the cost in cases of miscarriage, a lack of fetal viability, or an ectopic pregnancy. This is extremely vital because it's now estimated that 1 in 3 women have lost access to abortion in their home state. And even more restrictive bans are on the way. In Idaho, a judge has ruled that medical providers cannot be held legally responsible for performing an abortion if the provider believes that the patient's health is in jeopardy. The Idaho abortion law currently states that a patient has to prove that their life is in danger in order to obtain an abortion. Now the provider will get to make that call, thanks to the Justice Department filing a lawsuit in that state. In gun violence news, House Democrats have introduced a bill that would, quote, impose a 20% tax on the total revenue earned by manufacturers who produce assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. That money that it would generate would be used then to prevent gun violence and also to support victims of gun violence. And speaking of gun violence, families of the victims and surviving victims of that horrific Uvalde massacre will soon be filing a $27 billion lawsuit against numerous law enforcement agencies in that area, as well as the gun manufacturer. And the city has now announced that they finally fired the Uvalde police chief, Pete Arredondo. And speaking of shady police, the ACLU has filed a lawsuit in Arizona against that ridiculous law, which requires that citizens have to remain at least 8 feet away when filming law enforcement activity. In economic and climate change news, Ford announced that they're cutting 3,000 white-collar jobs. That includes 2,000 full-time salary earners and 1,000 contract workers. This is in order to make the move to electric vehicles. Thanks so much for the quickie, guys. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.